Thanks very much for joining me. In the midst of these unprecedented and crazy times, government shutdown, Trump's devastation of healthcare in America, climate change, the move toward authoritarianism, the horrific war in Gaza, the growth of oligarchy, etc., etc., etc. I want to take a few minutes talking about another issue of enormous consequence that just doesn't get the kind of attention I think it deserves. Everybody agrees that artificial intelligence, AI, and robotics are going to have a transformative impact on our country and the world. There is very little disagreement about that. There are, however, very strong disagreements as to what those impacts will be. Who will benefit from these changes and who will be hurt?
Yeah, man, artificial intelligence is a thing that a lot of folks are not talking about, in my opinion, or taking seriously. Everywhere from the large language models to actual physical robots or autonomous vehicles, it's going on around us. And those of us that don't pay attention to it, I believe, are going to be the ones that are hurt the most. I'm not from the mindset that the robots are going to take over everything. I could be wrong, but I do feel like it's going to impact a lot of people. Senator Bernie Sanders, he's, in my opinion, always came out to be like the people's champ. Don't know how true that is, but he's bringing some valid points. So not wanting to be an alarmist with this video, but a realist. And again, large language models bring efficiencies. Robots are a thing. Autonomous vehicles, it's happening all around you. I just want to sound the trumpet, have you wake up so that you're not caught all the way off guard. And that way, as we move forward, you can be as proactive as possible and prepare yourself. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Robert. And on this channel, my goal is to simplify the home loan process. Let's get back into what Senator Sanders is saying and figure out if we agree or disagree.
In 2016, Foxconn, the massive manufacturing contractor for companies like Apple and Google, replaced 60,000 workers at a single huge factory in China with robots. Now, the company is planning fully automated factories. And just a few months ago, Foxconn CEO Young Liu predicted that artificial intelligence will make it unnecessary for large corporations to outsource jobs to low-wage countries. You know why? Because robots will be doing most of the manufacturing work. However, it is not just manufacturing jobs at risk. Most of us want to see the United States develop a strong, clean, and efficient transportation system, including the production of millions of new cars, buses, and trucks. But if Musk and others get their way, those vehicles won't be operated by truck drivers, bus drivers, or taxi drivers. They will be driverless vehicles. Millions of jobs in transportation will be eliminated. This is not science fiction. It's already happening. FedEx is using driverless trucks to haul heavy loads along the I-45 corridor between Dallas and Houston through a company called Aurora.
So he's right, man. If you really pay attention in your daily business, when you're riding around and doing things, I saw a FedEx truck the other day and it looked different to me. And sure enough, it was some type of EV type vehicle. But long and short is this: capitalism is looking to become as efficient as possible to so-called return the most profit to the investor or the investors. So it's two sides to the coin, right? You have to diversify. You have to make sure you're in the games that are going to lead to you earning an income, or not just income, but earning equity, ownership. So equities, some of you guys trade and do these things, the cryptocurrency space, assets, what those things that are considered to be assets. Long gone, I believe, are the days where you just go to a 9 to 5 and you're there for 50 years. That's not the case anymore. And so if you pay attention, and you guys let me know in the comment section, where have you seen some autonomous vehicles or robotics changing things? Just recently coming from out of town and stopped at a fast food place, and we went through the drive-through, and the speaker system was an automated system that was in a whole nother country. And to be honest with you, it was accurate. And, we go about our day and it's like, who cares? Well, you got to pay attention, because slowly but surely you're being trained to have these things come to you. And it's like Walmart back in the day when they first started on their rise. When they came to a town, they put all of the small businesses out of business. And then if you look today in some of these cities that are having problems, when a major store like that leaves and you don't have any grocery stores or any pharmaceuticals, the place is in chaos. So we have to have a balance of physical, or analog, and digital. And so, again, not to be an alarmist, you have to pay attention. And just because it's not affecting you right now, like the government shutdown, check out the video we did yesterday about the government shutdown. Has some very salient points that go along with this, right? Because if you ever want to own a home, you got to have a job. You got to be confident in the fact that you're going to be able to leverage and make that payment if you have to borrow. Well, all these things are relevant. And again, doesn't seem like it affects you now, and it may not, but slowly but surely, these big corporations, they're about their business, they're on the job. And if you're not learning how to use the large language models, if they're not even on your radar, if you don't know what's going on around you, how can you prepare otherwise?
I think it's because investing in AI and robotics will increase their already incredible wealth and power exponentially. Among other impacts, the artificial intelligence and robotics being developed by these multi-billionaires will allow corporate America to wipe out tens of millions of decent-paying jobs, cut labor costs, and boost profits. The result? The wealthiest people in the world will get even richer, while working families lose their jobs and their income. And unless we act, here is, in my view, I don't claim to have all the answers, but in my view, this is what is likely to happen in the next 10 years. Where do we go from here? First, we must move to a 32-hour work week with no loss in pay. Think about it. Today, American workers are 400% more productive than they were in the 1940s when the 40-hour work week was first established. Artificial intelligence and robotics will greatly increase that productivity. Workers must benefit from that increased output through a shorter work week. A 32-hour work week with no loss of pay would be a major step forward in improving the quality of life for millions of Americans. We must require large corporations to allow workers to elect at least 45% of the members of their boards of directors, similar to what already takes place in Germany. Workers need a seat at the table to best determine how AI is used in their companies. If Tesla workers were on their corporate board, I doubt very much that they would be rewarding Elon Musk with $1 trillion pay package. Third, we must greatly increase profit sharing at our nation's largest corporations. In my view, workers should receive at least 20% of the stock in companies they work for. Corporate profits should not just be going to rich, wealthy stockholders and the billionaires who own them. Fourth, we need to substantially expand the concept of employee ownership in America. When workers own their own businesses and are more involved in the decision-making processes, they will make choices that benefit everyone in the company, not just the people on top. Instead of providing billions of dollars in tax breaks to companies that are throwing workers out on the street and replacing them with new technologies, we should enact a robot tax on large corporations and use that revenue to improve the lives of workers who have been harmed in this transition. Bottom line, AI and robotics will bring a profound transformation to our country. Nobody denies that. In my view, we must fight to make sure that these changes benefit all of us and not just a handful of billionaires. Let the debate begin, and we need your participation.
I tell you what, not a big politician guy, but at least he gave some points. 32-hour work week. The efficiency of the worker has vastly improved over the years, but takers are going to take. And so, in my opinion, you have to realize what you're bringing to the marketplace. And that's an employee that knows his or her value and that's not just there to get a check or for someone to take care of them. I like the 45% of the employees that work for these big companies, they have to have say in the board of directors. Too many changes get made and it benefits those that are in the room, and a lot of other folks, you just are beholden to whatever happens. So I like that. That's a good thing. And then ownership. It's about ownership. That's where I'm at with it. I see things that have been coming down the pike, and I've been trying to prepare myself and my family, and just in some of the things that I do. I tell you guys all the time. Here's another example. Samsung Q2U. Get this mic. Get a camera. Some of you folks that may have been furloughed or let go or replaced by AI, the non-facing clients. Have you just been on the job getting a check, or have you been growing in skill? I just talked to a young person today, and she was like, it would be awesome if whatever employer I work with, I was able to learn all of the software and the skills that needs to be learned. And that's really an individual thing. That's something that you have to go into a situation and understand. It's a business transaction. You're getting a check, they're getting your time. Now, what you do during that time is on you. You know, if you got husband and wives and all that foolishness, and then on the weekend, you got a bunch of diversionary tactics, you are these folks that are going to get caught off guard. Again, just hear sounding the trumpet just to make you think. And then you do what you will with the information. I like the profit sharing, that 20% of the business is shared, not shared, but is owned by the employees, the folks that make the business run. That concept alone, for those that really embrace it, would be transformational and make you more competitive, make us more competitive worldwide. And then that robot tax, that's thinking outside the box. That's smart. And so you guys tell me, a lot of you all are smarter than I am. I'm just a regular guy, common sense. But that makes sense. If the evil corporation is trying to replace all the people, well, how can you disincentivize that? Tax the robots, tax the new people or the new entity that they're trying to use to replace the people, and then take those monies, not so everybody could sit around and drink mimosas. Again, the real argument is about productivity. As a person that's put here, you have to produce. You got to do something. We see the results of all this sitting around and kicking it. It's not good. You know what they say about an idle mind. So I digress from that point. Senator Sanders, excellent points, as he said, to start the conversation. I appreciate the interaction in the community because it really does help out. So my time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, guys, let's be good to one another. Let grace abound. And before you get out of here, watch this video over here. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.